CBS Young and the Restless spoilers update. Full Fridays, the 24th of July, 2026. Welcome back to our channel, besties. Today is a beautiful, completely unhinged day in the soap universe, and we are so glad you are here to spiral with us. Grab your iced coffees and strap in, because things are getting wild. You guys, I am deceased. Stop what you are doing right this exact second, because I am literally shaking and we need to talk about. I am genuinely hyperventilating. I was mid skincare, literally applying a charcoal mask, and I had to straight up yeet my phone across the rug because the sheer audacity of what just happened in Genoa City has fundamentally altered my brain chemistry. Send help, because my soul has actually left my body. I cannot even process the absolute cinematic mayhem we just witnessed. We are not just watching this show anymore, we are invested, and I am personally victimized by the choices these people are making. I am screaming into a pillow as we speak because the stakes are astronomical and everyone is making the worst possible decision. Wait, I'm glitching. Okay, back to the main event. Wait, backtrack for a second. I missed a step. Let's start with Tracy Abbott, because she is officially the bravest woman on television, and the rest of them could never. Basically, Tracy is sitting in the Abbott mansion, and she is surrounded by Diane Jenkins, Kyle Abbott, and Jack Abbott. The energy in this room is straight up suffocating. You can literally feel the trauma radiating off Diane, who is basically paralyzed with paranoia over Dr. Lawrence Markham. Diane looks like she hasn't slept in 3 weeks. And honestly, same Tracy, being the absolute queen and moral compass she is, opens her laptop. She literally commands this room of massive, unchecked egos to shut their mouths and not say a single word while she makes this video call, because the person on the other end might hang up if they hear a peep. The tension, astronomical. I was sweating through my shirt just watching them stand there like grounded toddlers. So she connects the video call, and who pops up on the screen? Martin Laurent, the psychopath himself. And don't even get me started on the vibes the man is practically oozing through the screen with this creepy, overly familiar energy that makes my skin legitimately crawl. He literally has the nerve to smile and say it is so wonderful to see her. Bestie, be for real right now. You are a menace to society. He starts reminiscing about their long walks and deep conversations, completely ignoring the fact that he is a literal villain who has caused so much psychological damage. Tracy is not having it. She shuts him down so fast, her tone colder than absolute zero, telling him this is not a social call, and she is only reaching out because she needs his help finding Dr. Markham. Did I say that yet? Ugh. My brain is mush. Moving on. Markham is the one who kidnapped Diane. And Tracy straight up tells Martin that Markham is on the run, hiding, and remains a massive, terrifying threat to her entire family. Martin, being the absolute unhinged narcissist that he is, just smirks. He literally sits there and says that Markham is just as arrogant as his brother Alan. And then he drops the absolute bomb of the century. He tells Tracy that he has rented a summer house, and he basically holds the information about Markham hostage. He tells her he will give her the information she needs, but only if she does him a little favor. He wants Tracy to come visit him in person at this isolated summer house so he can beg for her forgiveness. I screamed into my pillow. Are you genuinely kidding me? He is luring our precious Trossie into a trap, and she just agrees. She looks right into the camera and says she will set up a meeting. When she slams that laptop shut, she admits to Jack that it was harder than she thought, but she refuses to let Martin see her sweat. I am calling it right now. This villain arc is about to go nuclear, and Tracy is walking straight into a dumpster. Okay, hold on. I should have mentioned this earlier, but my mind is racing at 1,000,000 miles an hour. Let's pivot to the absolute tragedy that is Nikki Newman's life right now. We see her waking up on the morning her bandages are supposed to be removed. She is sitting at her beautiful vanity, brushing her hair and putting on a headband, which, by the way, was a stunning aesthetic choice. It was giving tragic royalty, and I was weirdly obsessed with the velvet texture of it before I snapped back to the devastating reality of the scene. She reaches out to touch the mirror, her hands trembling, and she prays out loud. He says that if her prayers are answered, she will be able to see her own reflection by the end of the day. I was genuinely sobbing. The stakes are so incredibly high, and Victor is just hovering around her life like a dark cloud of manipulation, pretending to be the supportive husband while secretly plotting to steal her company shares. It is so sick and twisted. Meanwhile, downstairs at the ranch, Nick Newman is acting like a straight-up toddler throwing a tantrum. He is talking to Victor and dropping the most insane, unhinged tea. He tells his dad that Matt Clark didn't leave town like he was supposed to. No, Matt spent the entire night at the athletic club with Phyllis. I am literally clutching my chest right now. Nick is spiraling out of control, telling Victor that he actually went upstairs at the club and knocked on Phyllis's door, but they didn't answer. Nick, bestie, why are you stalking your ex-wife and the man who literally tortured you? This is so embarrassing for his life and his soul. Nick is officially on my do not perceive list because his obsession with Matt is going to push him right back into a full-blown addiction relapse, and I am too unwell to handle it. He is so triggered, and Victor is just absorbing this information like a supervillain calculating his next chess move. Back to Nikki, because my heart is literally bleeding for her. She goes to the hospital, and the entire Newman cavalry is there. Victoria, Nick, Victor, and even Claire. At first, Nikki wants to go into the examination room alone because she is a strong, independent icon who hates pity, but the sheer gravity and terror of the situation hits her. She changes her mind at the last second and asks Dr. Nowling if her family can come in with her. Victor marches in, looking like he owns the entire hospital wing, and the doctor slowly starts removing the bandages. The silence in that room, deafening. You could legitimately hear a pin drop. I was holding my breath so hard I almost passed out on my living room rug. The anticipation was literally eating me alive. The bandages finally come off. Nikki slowly opens her eyes, blinking against the harsh hospital light. And you guy, she cries out in pure agony. She says, it's all black. There's nothing. Send help. My soul shattered into 1,000,000 tiny pieces right then. The absolute devastation on her face was a master. Victor, trying to do immediate damage control because he cannot handle losing control, tells her that this is only temporary. But Nikki is completely broken. She whispers, her voice cracking, that she is holding on to the hope that one day, not too far in the future, she will be able to see their faces again. It was a 10/10 cinematic masterpiece of pure emotional trauma. I am manifesting a miracle for her. But right now, it is giving total, inescapable despair. They all return to the ranch, and the atmosphere is thicker than concrete. Nikki insists on going to her bedroom alone. Victor, playing the doting husband, offers to help her, but she completely shuts him out. She walks into her room, feeling her way around the furniture, and sits down in front of that very same mirror she prayed to this. And then she just snaps. The grief and the anger boil over. She grabs her hairbrush and hurls it directly at the glass, shattering the mirror into jagged pieces all over the vanity. It was so raw, so visceral, so incredibly powerful. She just breaks down sobbing, and I was crying right along with her, charcoal mask flaking off my face and ruining my rug. Will she ever get her sight back? The psychological damage is off the charts, and Victor is probably going to use this extreme vulnerability to steal the rest of her shares, which honestly makes me want to scream into the void. Wait, I'm glitching again. Okay, back to the absolute mess that is Phyllis Summers, because I cannot let this slide. We cut to her hotel suite at the athletic club, and she is waking up, slipping into this gorgeous silk robe, and who is lying on her couch? Matt Clark, Matt, literal, Clark, the man who is supposedly faking amnesia and has terrorized half of Genoa City for years. They start casually talking about last night, and Matt says he purposely stopped things from going too far because he didn't want to take advantage of her, especially since he is supposed to be leaving town soon. He is playing the ultimate gentleman card, and it is so manipulative, I can barely stand to watch it. And Phyllis, oh my God, Phyllis looks at this absolute monster, this walking red flag, and says, "You made me laugh. I felt safe with you." Safe? Bestie, be for real, right now. You are talking to a literal psychopath who has caused untold misery to everyone you know. I am physically vibrating from the sheer audacity of this woman. She is so blinded by her hatred for the Newmans and her desperate need for an ally that she is completely ignoring reality. She then proceeds to ask him out on a date. A date? I cannot even. She is straight up abandoning all logic because she is so desperate to feel seen and protected, even if it's by the devil himself. So they actually go to society for their little breakfast date. And let me just veer off for a second. The lighting in society was weirdly dim in this scene, like they were trying to make it look romantic, but it just looked ominous, um, like a horror movie right before the jump scare happened. I was literally squinting at my screen. Anyway, Phyllis drops another massive bomb. She tells Matt that Victor gave her a company and she needs to build it up from scratch. So what does she do? She offers Matt a job. She is offering employment to the man who kidnapped her, and Sharon, the man who tortured her ex-husband. My brain is actually short-circuiting. I had to pause the episode and just stare at the wall for 5 minutes to process the absolute insanity of this business decision. Matt looks at her, his eyes probably calculating his next evil, world-ending move, and asks if she is just hiring him out of pity because she feels sorry for him. Phyllis looks him dead in the eye, totally serious, and says that it's not pity at all, it's a mutually beneficial partnership, a partnership with the devil. I am literally hyperventilating right now. Will Matt accept? Obviously, yes, because he thrives on chaos and proximity to power. This entire situation is a ticking time bomb waiting to explode in everyone's faces. Phyllis is playing with fire. Tracy is walking into a serial killer's summer house. Nick is spiraling into a jealous rage, and Nikki is shattering mirrors in the dark. I am so deep in this lore that my grip on reality is slipping, and this show is now my entire personality. I am not okay, and I need you all to manifest a total dumpster fire by the next update, because we are officially in the end game now.